Have you ever thought about meal prepping, but it feels overwhelming and impossible to fit into your busy life? Maybe you've tried those one size fit all meal prep plans that you've seen online and you ended up more stressed out than before. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Today, I'm sharing my own messy meal prep journey and how I finally found a system that works, not just for me, but for real everyday women just like you. Welcome back to the Inspired Well-Minded Woman podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Denise, your wellness mindset and resilience coach. Today, I want to talk about the struggles that so many of us face when it comes to meal prep. You know the feeling, wanting to eat healthier, save time, reduce stress of starting something new on your weight loss journey, but ended up feeling overwhelmed by the process. I know how that feels. And I'm here to share with you what I have learned so you can find an approach that works for you. We know that meal prepping can help you stay on track, but it goes beyond just convenience. A study found that planning meals ahead of time is linked to greater variety of food and better overall diet quality. Basically, when you plan your meals, you tend to eat healthier, more balanced options, and that's exactly what we need to set ourselves up for long-term success. But instead of grabbing for whatever is easy and convenient in the moment, you'll have exactly what you need ready to go so you can stick to your health goals without the added stress. Now, doesn't that sound amazing? So, Sister Leader, let's be real with ourselves and let's talk about our truths here together. Who hasn't felt completely overwhelmed by the thought of meal prep? I know I have. And maybe you've tried cooking a month's worth of meals in one day, only to end up feeling burnt out and not even eating the food that you made, that you prepared. Maybe you spent hours watching blogs and reading books and videos, not reading books and videos, but watching videos and reading blogs about the perfect meal prep strategy that only left you feeling frustrated when it didn't work for you. Well, that frustration is enough to make anyone want to give up. And the guilt that we pile on ourselves afterwards, oh my goodness, it's like we beat ourselves up for failing at something that didn't work for us, that seems so easy for people that we see in these videos who are doing the meal prep. They have an amazing system that they seem to stick to time and time again. And we want that for ourselves. And we just beat ourselves up so badly afterwards. And that makes things even worse. So we tell ourselves that if I can't even meal prep right, how am I supposed to lose weight? How am I supposed to stay healthy? Well, in full transparency, which is my goal with every session that I do with you, is to be as transparent and honest about my journey as well. So it can help you and you can realize that you're not alone and you can see that even people like me struggle. So I've been there. I've been on the struggle bus when it's come to meal prep, right? So when I first started meal prepping, I tried to follow all the advice I could find. I bought the special containers, I cooked in large batches, and I even froze my meals for weeks so I can have it when I was ready for it. But the truth is, I found out that it didn't feel right for me. That system didn't work for me. The food wasn't fresh when it's been frozen for about 2 or 3 weeks, because this is a month's worth of cooking. Right? I got bored eating the same meal over and over again. And the process left me feeling stressed out and exhausted. And again, I'm going to be honest here. I gave up on meal prepping numerous times. I'm not ashamed to say that. I gave up on it numerous times because it was just so much. And I kept going back to the videos and watching the videos again to see what is it that I could do differently, only to realize that that was their system. It was for me, it was so overwhelming for me, so much to do, especially for a person like me who doesn't really enjoy cooking. And I remember feeling like a failure, wondering why something that seemed so simple for others felt impossible for me. Well, the fact that I didn't enjoy cooking was a big reality, right? And now you want me to cook a month's worth, a month's worth of meal prep food? Oh my goodness. But over time, I realized that I was really trying to force myself into a system that was not designed for my life. So I stopped following someone else's plan and started figuring out what actually worked for me. And that's when things begin to change. But see, I had to realize through many failures, through giving up numerous of times, and realizing it's not that I failed, it was just those plans did not work for me. They weren't designed for a person with my mind, with my lifestyle, and a person who didn't enjoy cooking at all. So one of the biggest shifts that you can make, if you're a person who also doesn't have a whole lot of time, and if you're a person who doesn't care to be in the kitchen cooking, one of the biggest shifts that you can make is start planning your meals that fit into your life, meals that you actually enjoy eating, and meals that give you energy and that are easy to put together. It has to be simple and easy to start with, right? So that's what worked for me, and you can start doing the same thing for yourself. That meant letting go of the idea that I had to follow somebody else's plan. So even though I meant well by looking at all the videos and reading all the blogs to help me in my meal prep process, which was critical for my weight loss journey, or any weight loss journey for that matter, if you really want to stick to the program and see results, meal prepping is a valuable tool, but finding a system that works for you is key. So I decided to meal prep differently than what those videos were telling me, and all the experienced people who enjoy meal prepping and have their own system. Instead of following their system, I had to ask myself and really sit with it and say, what would work for me? Because I was tired of giving up. Every time that I tried to meal prep and try to do somebody else's method and follow their way of doing it, it just didn't work. And think about it. If you're trying 2 and 3 systems a year to find out that it didn't work for you, and you're constantly feeling like a failure because you're following somebody else's system, no, we don't want to do that. So I decided to do what worked for me. And that was, I started to meal prep twice a week. There were some realities I had to face. So twice a week worked for me rather than cooking a month's worth of food at once. And one of the reasons that twice a week worked for me was because I don't eat anything that's been cooked longer than 3 days. 3 days is my max. I may go 4 days if I prepared it or if I was present when it was prepared. Present, not necessarily in the kitchen, but it was cooked on the day that I arrived, or I knew it was being prepared fresh that day. And it depends on what the food is that will determine whether or not I'll go day 4. But typically 3 days old and I'm done. And by me understanding this about myself and my own lifestyle, this helped me have variety. This helps me keep food fresh. And it also fits into my busy schedule. Because going through drive-thrus and quick service restaurants was no longer an option for me. Especially with the goal of wanting to live a long, healthy, thriving life, I had to find another way. And I was tired of giving up and quitting on my meal prep plan and the efforts that I made. And it really wasn't easy, but I had to figure it out because I knew that all the fit people that I knew, everyone that I was meeting that was in the fitness industry. This is before I entered into the fitness world, okay? I was still on my weight loss and my wellness lifestyle journey. Now, my wellness lifestyle journey is still a very much a part of how I live my life. Only I'm not just on trying to lose weight every year for an occasion or for the summer or what have you. I am now in the fitness side of things because living a physically fit, brain, body fit life is also very important to your overall health and well-being. And once I understood that, I leveled up how I approach things on my wellness lifestyle journey. So another key to meal prepping that I had to learn along the way is understanding the difference between cooking for convenience and cooking for health. Because sometimes you think that, oh, well, if I'm going to cook at home, I'm going to cook the same foods that I enjoy eating, right? And because I cook it at home, it makes it healthier. Well, no. If you take something that's really high in calorie, but really tastes good, and you prepare it at home the same way, and you put your own spin on it, it doesn't necessarily make it healthy, depending on the dish, right? So it couldn't have been about convenience and cooking for taste, right? So the difference is taking the foods that you like. I had to learn, take the foods that I enjoyed and made a healthy version for myself, which in reality shifted a whole lot for me, because even some of the foods that I enjoyed eating weren't healthy for what I'm trying to accomplish. So some things I just gave up altogether and found new foods that I enjoyed. And this is so important because studies show that women who consistently prepare their own meals are less likely to be overweight. Why? Because think about it. When you're in charge of your kitchen, you control the ingredients. You control the portions. And more importantly, you control the overall quality of the food that you're consuming. So it's not just about calories, it's also about knowing what you're putting into your body and making choices that truly align with your health goals. Okay, we're talking long-term sustainable success here. And developing routines and strategies that will work for our individual lifestyle. Because my way may still not work for you, but you have to figure out what works for you. I'm just in agreement that the strategies of other meal prep strategies that are out there online that we may be, binging on to find what works for us may not work for you. It didn't work for me. It may not work for you. But at the end of the day, if you really want to make this healthy lifestyle shift and really take control of and own your wellness journey, you have to figure out what works for you. And only you can answer that. And it takes some time to really sit back and evaluate, how do I live my life? And how do I want to live my life? And in that way, you can come up with a strategy that aligns with where you are and where you want to be, if there's some difference in that. So start small. Pick, do like I did. Choose 2 days a week that work best for you. And choose meals that you know you'll look forward to eating. It's that simple. And most importantly, you definitely want to keep it simple. You don't want to complicate your meals where you're spending a whole lot of time in the kitchen, standing over the stove, waiting for your food to be prepared. So you want to keep it simple, and you want to do things that does not consume a whole lot of your time. So I want you to also to be mindful of, it doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent in your process of meal prepping. So my meal prep days are the same most times. I say 95% of the time, I meal prep on these same days every single week. That works for me. Okay, so you have to figure out what will work for you. What days do you have more time that you can spend and prioritize for yourself to set you up for a week of success, or 2 weeks of success depending on how you live your life and what your schedule looks like. But consistency is key in all of this. And once you find a rhythm that works, you'll see how much easier it becomes to eat well and to stay on track, which is so important for your goals. By creating a meal prep routine that's tailored to your life, you'll not only gain back time and peace of mind, but you'll also feel in control of your wellness journey, whether your goal is to lose weight, get in shape, or both. So really spend some time and evaluate that for yourself. Even as you go through this week in your life, think about how you're living. Think about how you're showing up for yourself and where the windows of time are in your schedule that you know that are the best days and times that you can actually be at home and prepare meals for yourself. Okay. Now, yes, there are other options that are available for you. If you say, well, I really travel a lot for my business, and I'm really on the road a lot. Meal prepping really isn't a thing for me. There are other options out there, but you really control what you're putting in when you prepare your meals yourself. All right. So it's really, really important. And when you start building that healthy eating habit that fits into our lives, it's amazing how making that change spills over into other areas. It's like once you get committed and disciplined and structured in one area, then you'll want to do it in other areas. It's like it's automatic. It's automatic, right? But you'll only know that once you get started. So we're not just talking about prepping meals. We're talking about prepping our minds and our bodies for better health. We're fueling ourselves so we can show up for those workouts with more energy, that we can handle life challenges with less stress, and finally feel at ease and feel better in our skin. The worst thing, in my opinion, one of the worst things, because there are many, right? One of the worst things is to be uncomfortable in your body. I know what that feels like. And one of the ways that we set ourselves up to feel better in our skin, to feel good about when we look at ourselves in the mirror, to feel better in the clothes that we like to wear, that we have sitting in our closet, is by eating a healthy meal, eating our macronutrients, right? Which is your fat, your healthy fat, carbohydrates, and proteins, okay? In a way that's going to set you up to have the energy that you need and the brain and body fitness and clarity that you need to show up in your life. It is important to align your eating habits and your exercise routines. They function together. Yes, you can become healthier and you can lose weight by cleaning up your diet and eating a clean, healthy diet that consists of real food. But imagine how much stronger, better, powerful you can be by adding exercise to that routine. Now you're not just feeding your body the nutrients it needs, you're giving it the strength that it needs for you to be brain body fit. And when you pair them together, when you say they are married, they are one together, right? Because our bodies are designed to move. You'll be on your way to becoming that brain body fit, well-minded woman and leader in your own life. And you'll be able to pursue your purpose with more energy and with more strength because you've prepared yourself for that. And that's what the free 30-day Walk to Wellness Challenge is all about. It is a chance to reset, to refocus, and to create simple, sustainable habits that make you feel good inside and out. See, my mission is to support sister leaders like you to reclaim your wellness, to renew your confidence, and to end suffering in silence with courage to truly be your authentic self. And the way to do that is to eat right and get moving. So you can get moving by joining the free 30-day Walk to Wellness Challenge. I'll leave the link for that in the description so you can join the wait list and we can start walking together. Okay? You don't have to be out here struggling alone. You're not struggling alone if you're having some challenges in your wellness journey and trying to get your life on track in the healthiest way possible. The thing is, we have to now start talking about it and support each other in our efforts. Because as I learn new and better ways, my goal is to share those new and better ways with you. So we can power through, we can be empowered, we can feel more confident in doing so as we strive to be our healthy best selves. So if this message resonates with you, I'd love for you to share this talk with your community, your friends, your network. Together we can reach 100,000 women worldwide in the next 12 months and make a global difference. And that's really, really important. To connect with other sister leaders around the world who are on the same mission to improve their lives and be the better, healthiest version of themselves. So do you agree that when your eating and exercise are aligned, that it's much easier to stay on track? That it's easier to keep showing up for yourself? Does it make sense for you? Then that is what the challenge is about. And it can make a difference in your life as well. So just click the link in the show description. So I also want to hear from you. I want to know what has been your biggest struggles when it's come to meal prepping. I've shared mine. I've been very open and transparent about the numerous failures that I've experienced in my journey throughout the years. I've been on my wellness journey for well over a decade. And it continues to be a very vital and important foundational part of my life and how I live day to day. So what's been your biggest meal prep struggle, specifically around meal prepping and food choices, right? Based on your lifestyle. And when you think about those struggles and you have listened to, after listening to today's talk, I want to know what are one or two things that you will do differently going forward. Hopefully, I've shared something that added value to your process and you said, oh, maybe a light bulb went off and you said, oh, I could do it this way or I can do it that way. Or that makes sense. You don't have to do it the way other people are doing because that doesn't fit for you, but you can do it a way that is fitting for yourself and set yourself up for success. It's a win. It is a huge win when I meal prep every week. And I have food ready on the go because I stuck to my meal prep days. Now, let me add this. Let's say my meal prep days are a weekend, right? So a Saturday or Sunday. Let's say Sunday. If I schedule my meal prep for Sundays, if life happens as it does for us, what do? Do I go the week and just wing it? No, I do not. Monday would be my next day. What I couldn't get accomplished on Sunday rolls over to the next day because meal prep truly is, I cannot express this enough, has been so important for me to staying on track and going the distance even when I didn't feel like it. But I'm telling you, it becomes now such a commonplace in my life. When I don't meal prep, I feel off balance. I feel off track. So what are you going to do differently now that I've shared my own struggles and my journey with you? Leave that in the comments. I would really love to hear your approach going forward. And finally, I want to thank you for joining me today. You are a valued sister leader, and I'm so grateful that we have shared this time together today. I know you could have been doing something else, but you chose to be here with me, and for that, I am grateful. So until next time, Sister Leader, let's soar higher together.